He doesn't want to follow the same strategy of gaining new allies by letting them take advantage of Burkina Faso's gold. Recognizing the historical contributions made by businesses such as Nordgold to Burkina Faso, the strong desire for social justice and economic freedom is driving the winds of change across the continent. Gold mining, a centuries-old practice, has captivated human imagination and fueled economic growth across the globe. From ancient civilizations to modern industrial operations, the pursuit of this precious metal has shaped the course of history and continues to play a significant role in today's world. Can you name a country in the world where the president has the authority to expel all international gold mining companies that are abusing the nation's gold reserves? Well, Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso has made history. He undoubtedly took his time to gather the most influential individuals around him before making such a radical move. Captain Ibrahim Traore revoked the mining permits of all foreign businesses, including those from Russia. However, what really transpired was that Captain Ibrahim Traore was forced to clear the territory. It appears that he learned of the clandestine operations carried out by multinational corporations in Burkina Faso. Given this, how did he cancel the licenses, and what is his plan for the thousands of tons of gold that will remain in Burkina Faso? We are going to find out from this video. Captain Ibrahim was unable to comprehend Burkina Faso's continued status as one of the world's poorest countries, even with substantial gold deposits. He was aware that France, Burkina Faso's former colonial power, contributed to the country's inability to develop an independent gold industry by enforcing unfair trade agreements on the country during and after its independence, which ensured that France profited disproportionately from Burkina Faso's gold resources. During his time in the military, Captain Ibrahim Traore saw that French businesses were granted priority access to mining licenses, and that Burkina Faso's gold exports were subject to disadvantageous pricing agreements. Burkina Faso's native gold mining industry was not adequately supported by France, which instead promoted reliance on foreign technology and expertise that hindered the transfer of knowledge and skills to Burkina Faso citizens. This made it more difficult for the country to become a leader in gold mining and made it more dependent on outside actors. Understanding France's evil policy in the Sahel, Captain Ibrahim Traore made it his mission to free Burkina Faso from this trap. However, he was aware that in the past, France had excessive political influence over Burkina Faso's government, ensuring that policies favored French interests in the mining industry. This involved lobbying against policies, encouraging local control over gold resources, and pressuring the government to grant favorable terms to French companies. To break free from Burkina Faso's systemic trap were the CFA franc, a common currency used by several West African countries, looted the country's gold industry. Ibrahim Traore decided to first consolidate all of his powers. The fixed exchange rate of the CFA franc to the euro is seen as artificially high, declining exports from Burkina Faso's worldwide competitiveness. This would have reduced potential earnings from gold exports and discouraged investment. France was able to artificially strengthen the CFA franc and then devalue it after purchasing a significant amount of gold from Burkina Faso, forcing France to pay less in CFA franc than the original price for the gold. This made it evident that France's involvement in Burkina Faso's gold mining industry was primarily motivated by its desire to exploit the country's resources for its benefit, with little consideration for Burkina Faso's development. Since taking office more than a year ago, Captain Ibrahim Traore has decided to carry out his plans. In a dramatic and far-reaching move that sent shockwaves throughout Africa and beyond, the leader of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, announced the expulsion of all foreign mining companies operating in his country. This bold move was intended to reclaim control of the country's abundant gold resources. Directly affected industry titans like B2 Gold, Nordgold, Endeavour Mining, Semafo, Fortuna silver mines, and hummingbird resources are appending Western businesses used to plunder the continent's riches. Traore's decision was more than just a gesture of defiance toward Burkina Faso, which has a complicated relationship with France. It was a calculated move meant to guarantee that the country's gold reserves benefit its citizens rather than foreign businesses. This sentiment is in line with the sentiments of other African leaders who have watched as Western corporations plunder their natural resources, leaving them in a state of desperation and poverty. Traore didn't stop with the expulsions. During times of high gold prices, he significantly changed mining restrictions, raising royalty fees. This action aimed to ensure that the Burkinabe people receive a more equitable share of wealth, which was particularly important in the wake of mine closures brought on by security concerns after recent coups. However, the removal of Nordgold, a major Russian mining company that was before regarded as a key ally, cast doubt on allegations of favoritism. Other foreign players surfaced, but the government strongly refuted these claims, claiming that Nordgold's permit was issued based on merit rather than political ties. Rumors that Burkina Faso was hiring Russian Wagner Group mercenaries, while the government denied using mining profits to pay for these mercenaries, further complicated the issue. International scrutiny and speculation were heightened by the lack of transparency. This narrative highlights the long-standing, intricate, and frequently exploitative relationship that exists between Western corporations and Africa. Africa's resources have yielded substantial profits for Western corporations, trapping many countries in cycles of poverty and reliance. Traore's efforts are indicative of an expanding movement among African leaders who are disputing the myth that their continent is only a source of cheap resources and calling for a fairer share of their wealth beyond the financial consequences. With his choice, Traore asserts his right to self-determination and challenges the Western narrative that views African countries as cheap resource suppliers. Traore's action is a fight for sovereignty. His audacious move might encourage other African nations to take a similar stance and take charge of their own destiny. Burkina Faso's history has begun anew because of Traore's acts. The road ahead will be difficult, but his unwavering support for resource nationalism and national sovereignty has inspired hope throughout Africa. This is not just a story about gold, it's the story of a nation rising beyond its past and seizing its destiny. Capt. Traore has challenged the West's exploitative methods and encouraged a new generation of African leaders to seek their proper share of the continent's wealth, even though the last chapter is still unwritten. The result might have a significant impact on both Africa and the global order, and everyone is watching. But after driving out the multinational gold mining companies, what is Ibrahim Traore going to do next? Under the resolute leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso is rewriting the history books by taking on the challenge of regaining control over its vast gold reserves and challenging the historical dominance of foreign corporations. While businesses such as the UK-based Barrow Mine have faced production setbacks due to security concerns, Burkina Faso is unwavering in its pursuit of self-sufficiency. The opening of a new gold refinery heralds the start of an exciting new age in which the country seeks to attract investors dedicated to sustainable and ethical development and achieve the full potential of its mineral richness. Previously, Burkina Faso was required to permit the export of raw gold. Consequently, Burkina Faso lost out on the chance to increase its income. Exporting unrefined gold required accepting lower prices and removing themselves from the refining process. But now that Burkina Faso is building its gold refinery, its officials will be on site to determine Burkina Faso's fair portion that should be given. People had anticipated, nevertheless, that Captain Ibrahim Traore would not drive out the Russian mining company. This is due to Burkina Faso's need to satisfy Russia, a recently discovered ally. However, Captain Ibrahim Traore has a different plan in mind. He does not want to connect Burkina Faso's relations to Russia to permit Russian businesses to mine there. These are two entirely distinct entities that ought to be kept apart. He doesn't want to follow the same strategy of gaining new allies by letting them take advantage of Burkina Faso's gold. Recognizing the historical contributions made by businesses such as Nordgold to Burkina Faso, the strong desire for social justice and economic freedom is driving the winds of change across the continent. Capt Traore is leading the pro-self-reliance movement, which is gaining traction. He is opposing Western predatory methods and creating a precedent that other countries will follow. The fight for gold sovereignty in Burkina Faso is ongoing. The old system is disintegrating as nations take back control of their resources and seek a fair share on a global scale. Through promoting a future where natural wealth empowers people and supports sustainable development, Capt Traore's leadership serves as a beacon of hope for those countries looking to break free from foreign dependency. Though the battle is far from over and the road ahead may be challenging, the spirit of self-reliance and Capt Traore's tenacious resolve offer a glimmer of hope despite recent developments. This story goes beyond the story of gold. It's about a nation's journey towards self-determination. It's a tale of people asserting their rightful place globally. Nordgold has played a pivotal role in Burkina Faso's mining sector. The company's capacity to effectively find high-quality projects, carry out construction, and start mining operations with short ramp-up times is demonstrated by its track record of successfully starting mines. The Bissa mine, which marked Nordgold's initial foray into African mining in January 2013, is one prominent example. The Bissa mine's construction was finished in the allotted 15 months, under budget, and with an amazing 21 months of payback time when it was put into service in September 2016. 2016 saw the construction of a heap leach plant at the neighboring Bouli deposit by Nordgold, expanding the Bissa mine. This decision was supported by effective exploration initiatives that identified a substantial low-grade gold resource close to the Bissa operation. The Bouli project had a 33-month payback period from commissioning and was finished on time and within budget in 13 months. Bouli shares facilities like camps, labs, and power generation with Bissa and is run by the same management group. Nordgold maintains a 90% interest in the Bissa and Bouli mines, with the remaining 10% owned by the Burkina Faso government. These mines operate as contemporary open-pit operations that selectively mine or categorize materials into laterite, saprolite, transition, and fresh materials. Over 1,300 jobs are sustained by Nordgold. To create gold on-site, the processing plant uses a traditional carbon and leach circuit. Unlike Western gold mining firms that typically invest very little in the region, Nordgold has made significant investments in Burkina Faso, totaling $1.3 billion since 2009. As part of its dedication to Burkina Faso, Nordgold has implemented cutting-edge solutions including the Delco Fleet Management System, LS Fuel Management System, and Laboratory Information Management System throughout the manufacturing value chain. These investments make use of the region's geological expertise, gained from a skilled labor force, and achieve economies of scale through infrastructure sharing. Nordgold has paid Burkina Faso taxes and royalties totaling about $60 million, making it one of the most lucrative mining operations in the nation. Burkina Faso nationals make up about 95% of Nordgold's workforce. However, the moment came when Captain Ibrahim Traore learned about foreign companies exploiting Burkina Faso. Surprising revelations revealed a worrisome situation in Burkina Faso, where it was alleged that people struggling with poverty had been denied an astonishing $16.5 million in royalties from gold mining. It is said that this sizable amount, which is necessary to fund vital public services, was forfeited as a result of a unique low-tax arrangement established with Nordgold during Blaise Compaoré's administration. This astounding sum far outweighs the $1 million that the government allotted this year for national school supplies. Nordgold, owned by one of Russia's wealthiest individuals, Alexis Mordashov, whose estimated net worth is $19 billion, is said to have benefited from this advantageous tax arrangement. However, this was not the only instance. The surge in gold production began in 2002, coinciding with a significant upswing in gold prices. Concerns about the government's inadequate benefit from this commodity led to an increase in royalty rates on gold in 2010 under the brutal dictatorship of the then government of Blaise Compaoré. This new floating royalty mechanism was tied to the global gold market. Data on Burkina Faso's gold production, according to the Minister of Mines, indicates that Nordgold saves $16.5 million as a result of this low-tax guarantee, also known as a fiscal stability clause. These deals were initially introduced to entice foreign companies that were worried about uncertain political and fiscal environments, but they have since become controversial because they appear to replace any future changes to a country's legislation. Surprisingly, even though the Burkina Faso government attempted to charge higher royalties in 2011, Nordgold's complaint reportedly resulted in the confirmation of the tax regime. It was evident from Nordgold's own disclosures and annual reports that every foreign gold mining company operating in Burkina Faso was engaging in illicit gold mining activities. Captain Ibrahim Traore only needed to wait for their licenses to expire to request that they be renewed. To avoid having to negotiate agreements, Captain Ibrahim Traore has chosen not to grant any more licenses. He decided to cancel rather than renew the foreign company's previous licenses because of their low tax terms. If renewed, the percentages would have remained the same, but Traore tried to work out fresh terms. The Russian company's expulsion was unexpected, even though it was widely known that Traore would evict French, Canadian, and UK-based businesses. It is possible to view Ibrahim Traore's move to revoke the license and seek out new partnerships as a strong demonstration of his commitment to treating each ally fairly. The president argued that agreements should be restructured to maximize profits for Burkina Faso rather than solely benefiting foreign corporations. The idea behind this policy is to start renegotiating new agreements so that Burkina Faso's interests and welfare are prioritized, making sure that the country becomes the main benefactor of its gold resources. The new gold mines' profits can go toward funding important initiatives like poverty reduction, infrastructure development, healthcare, and education. Burkina Faso wants to break free from the cycle of dependency on foreign aid and forge its own path toward sustainable development by investing in its people and infrastructure. Burkina Faso's audacious action serves as a potent illustration of how African countries can reclaim sovereignty over their natural resources and bargain for more equitable agreements that benefit their people. These changes will have significant effects on the entire continent, opening the door for a wealth and resource distribution that is more equitable. The exploitation of resources by foreign corporations has produced a cycle of economic dependency for many African countries. This dependence frequently impedes sustainable growth and restricts the potential to diversify the economy through renegotiating mining agreements. Conversations concerning the larger dynamics of resource-rich African nations have also been sparked by the termination of gold licenses in Burkina Faso. Many countries need help in trying to maintain their social and environmental fabric, while also maximizing the economic potential of their natural resources. They should see what Ibrahim Traore is doing and try to copy from him. African leaders need to stop being slaves to the West and support their countries to build a united Africa. The world is watching to see how Burkina Faso's mining industry will adjust and its effect on the country's future as the dust settles on this audacious and divisive decision. Will this action help or impede the country's efforts to achieve economic progress? Will it spark a more responsible and sustainable mining industry? The full ramifications of this historic choice and how long they will affect Burkina Faso's gold mining industry will only become clear with time. What is your take on this? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.